Okay, I saw the live stream notification. So
So,
go ahead.
oh, okay. Yep, there we go.
We're good.
Yep.
Okay, good. We'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with our agenda. First item is the recognition of the traditional territories. So I would like to acknowledge that the land on which the Fallen Firefighters Memorial Task Force meets today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, many of whom continue to live and work here today. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering places home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Acknowledging this is a reminder that our great standard of living is directly related to the resources and friendship of Indigenous people. Apologize in advance for a little bit of scratchy throat. We had a whole bunch of us at the Bills game on Sunday as the responsibility of that. Okay. Next item is any additions or deletions to the agenda. We received none. So having said that, we would ask for a motion to approve the agenda, please. Moved by Councillor Dodge, seconded by Nancy. All those in favor? Thank you. Next item is the minutes from September 26th. You recall we missed our meeting in October due to scheduling issues. So you have the minutes circulated in front of you for September 26th. We need a motion to adopt those minutes, please. Councillor Lindell, seconded by Ryan Medell. All those in favor. One point of that motion is, or the minutes are passed. Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes is passed. I will add one clerical note that because she works so hard on everything that we do here, I did notice that Lori's name in the minutes is spelled L-O-R-Y. And I don't think that, I think she would prefer L-O-R-I going forward. So we'll just note that for future versions of meeting minutes. See, having said that, it looks like I'm the only one that's reading them, but that's okay. All right. Any declarations of interest? Seeing none, we have no presentations from invited guests. We'll move to business arising from the minutes, and I will combine agenda item 8 and 9, business arising in addition to new business, into one. Ryan?
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Chair. I
Yes,
read
sir.
the minutes. I read the minutes too.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to be funny.
I know.
We vote on the minutes?
Yes, we did.
Oh, did we? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, couple items to update. Picking up on the actual minutes from our September meeting. Jokes aside, we're very thorough. So not only thank you for that, but it's an excellent summary of kind of where we landed. And since as you're aware from these minutes, we had sold out our tier 1 sponsorship actually with a small excess on our target, which we're contemplating directing toward the flagpoles, but that's a decision to be made down the road. We see where we land with all fundraising. We had gotten an additional 2 commitments on benches and trees. So I have that number at 13 of 15 available. Again, some have yet to complete their declaration form, but if I have either an email or a commitment, I'm counting that in there from a reliable source. That's up 2 from the previous report of a couple months ago. And of course, that leaves us with 2 of those left. So I have a number of follow-ups that I think I don't see an issue with us selling those 2 well in advance of the end of this year, early next year. And then we add our ancillary funds. There are documented in the minutes as well. There's been no change to that from the boot drive and the various other fundraising initiatives that we've undertaken. So as of last meeting, we had ourselves in the low 400s. Bear in mind, city finance staff looks at it slightly differently if there's not an actual declaration form signed or cash. It's just a commitment that they're on their books. So it's my numbers are slightly off from them, but it's just a question of us getting that administrative process done, which puts us now in around the 430 range. And I'm pretty confident in that number. And our target, you'll recall, was 480. We've kind of moved it to 500 for inflation, but 480 was the original. It was actually 430, and we added 50,000 for the addition of the second bronze statue. Just jogging your memory here because it was a while ago, but so we're well within our target on it. A couple of items before I get to the last sort of big fundraising piece. We still have a couple of, either email applications or discussions with foundations that may consider a donation. If that happens, that's fantastic, but we're not counting on it. There's a decision-making process that they all go through. So we're not turning our back on them. We either keep an email active or discussion active with them. So in addition to the 2 remaining benches and some ancillary, we have what's Kim's last name? Kim Bertrand? Is that right? Yeah. So her dad was is it Dave? Who is it, Ryan? Bozak, right?
Walter Bozak.
Walter, that's it, yeah. And so I met with her. I apologize, Laura, I haven't had a chance to update you and finance, but we had a really good meeting, and I'm working directly with her. She's amalgamating funds for a marathon that she's running, and she has a lot of interesting commitments. She's a financial manager for Dominion Securities. She's well connected in her field, and a lot of people are going to sponsor her for a marathon that she's running in Florida. So we continue to generate some activity on those. Those are customized kind of one-offs. If some of her people want a brick, we'll facilitate that. If she gets up to 10 grand, we'll facilitate that. There's other $1,000 recognition options, etc. So really good effort on her part, and I'll formalize it in an email for finance purposes. Lori, just it's on my list, but I just wanted to give you an update that we had a good meeting. And there's a few of those things that are going on. So that's the context of where we're at with fundraising. Is we're in good shape, especially on the majors. Excellent shape, I would frankly say. Some interesting ancillary things happening, all of which are sort of gravy. Leading me to, of course, the one challenge that we have in fundraising, which is the bricks. 55 sold as of my count this morning, I think. So that's up from what we were at the minutes by 11. So that there's a few that trickle in here and there, but we continue to struggle with the bricks, and I have our target now, down. Frankly, we don't need all 200 remaining to meet our fundraising target. We could probably get to, half, 2/3 of that and still meet our fundraising target. So the initiatives that were identified in the meeting from the last minute that have moved forward are the Chamber of Commerce piece. I threw it at Lori last minute, but we're working on a single page, more of a general public versus a firefighter specific requisition for bricks only. And so I made some modifications to an existing piece, and I know, Lori, you were going to, I think, work with City Comms. Any progress update on that? Listen, I gave it to her Monday, so in fairness, yeah.
My apologies, Barry. I don't have an update. Unfortunately, I've been ill and I was out of the office, but I will be sending it to them tomorrow morning with the edits that you requested. So I will ask them to put a rush on it for us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We have commitment from the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce that they're going to run this through their membership flyer. So it is slightly customized to business owners in the community. It's over 1,000 members that they have, with some caveats that they could make a personal donation as well. So hopefully we get a little uptick from that. What I'm going to do is when we get that flyer, we're obviously going to circulate it to all of you, and I will send it to my contact network, and I'll say we worked out this arrangement with the Greater of Niagara Chamber, but this also applies to you, meaning whoever's the recipient on the other end of my email. And I would respectfully request that all of you that are comfortable with that spread that same flyer to any of your contact networks, or if you know somebody that you think can do that for you, or has a big contact network, we would encourage you to do all of that. And then I'll also, Lori, again, ask you and Chief Upper maybe to speak to the various social media communication devices that the city has through. I know some of the departments have their own, firefighters have their own, mayor has his own, etc. And so we'll rely on that. And that's really the extent of kind of the PR campaign related to it. It brings me to my number one question today. And maybe Ryan, I'm happy to see what we can do here. I did reach out to a couple of retirees that I know. I didn't get anywhere. I didn't even get a response from them. So I'm still hopeful that the firefighters themselves can assist us with the sale of the bricks. I hear two things out there. I hear some are like, how do I do it? Where do I go, and all that. But I also hear some apathy too. So I don't know if there's the retirees banquets upcoming, if there's weekly meetings or monthly meetings or quarterly meetings that you undertake as a union. I'm certainly willing to be the pitch man on this and sort of get the city and the firefighters factioning out of the way as the community/citizen/volunteer. But I would love a chance to at least try one last time to communicate with the existing members of St. Catharines Fire Services to see if they can help us selling these bricks. Any thoughts?
Yes. As you know, Barry, I've put out 2 detailed appeals to our members. I make a prominent mention of it at each of our union meetings. We have addressed the retirees at a banquet. We're working on that. And just, this is a public forum and being recorded. I just want to reiterate that we stepped up 160 firefighters and we put in $50,000. And we've had families of fallen firefighters that have bought a bench for $10,000. I think 2 benches, if I'm not mistaken. And we just had another donation from a family of $5,000. We're doing our very best. I put out an appeal across the province and to select locals across Canada. And we've had a small number of responses. But we are doing the very best that we can. And we realize the importance of this and we're working on it as best we can. I would like to just ask if there's a way that there could be something communicated to the people that answer the phone at City Hall for Citizens First, because I've had several people call me and say that one person wanted to buy a bench and they were told there are no benches left, and there are benches left, and there were at that time, and how to buy a brick. And is there any way we can maybe just, I guess I'm directing this to staff who have been amazing, and I'm by no means being critical, but something that can just be maybe at their desk, that if somebody should call in that they want to buy a brick, they could be guided through that. Because as we discussed at the last meeting, people can come right into headquarters at 64 Geneva Street and they can go in and fill out the paperwork. So not everyone is tech savvy, not everyone, especially people of certain generations, going online and doing something like that. So is there any way that there could be something at the phone for the citizens first people answering that can give direction on these things?
I can answer that through you, Mr. Chair. So the Citizens First Desk at City Hall has two resources. One is they have a database with speaking notes that they can refer to. So not proverbial notes at their desk, but certainly something, a resource that they can search if they have questions. The second thing is they have access to the city's website. And of course, we have a landing page that is still very active on the city's website that they can also refer to and also refer citizens to. What I can say is they have had a lot of turnover, Ryan. So a lot of new people that are training and may not be familiar with this fundraising and memorial project. But I will reach out to the manager of our Citizens First department, and I will ensure that he has everything that he needs for the training for his new staff.
Thank you.
Okay. So put down that down as an action point. It's a good point. And yeah, Ryan, obviously we all appreciate, and certainly didn't mean to, frame this as a lack of response. I'm just trying to engage as much action as we possibly can on this brick side of things. And we kind of need all the help we can get. By the way, it's 5 benches from firefighters, not 2. So better than you thought. And, I did a quick count. It's probably more. I probably don't recognize all the names. So yeah, no, everybody's been great. We'll hope that the efforts we're doing through the chamber and through your personal networks bear some fruit for us. I think there is, there's a knowledge gap out there for sure. That isn't. That's our responsibility as a committee to try to bridge where we can direct people in the right direction. We'll keep plugging away on that, but yeah, there's no better request for a brick than one that comes from a firefighter, no matter how many of us ask. So, and I do really believe that this is a very rare and unique opportunity for anybody in the community to have their name permanently etched on a park, which would be a city landmark forever. It just doesn't happen very often. You can buy a rink board or you can put your name on some advertising thing, but generally speaking, that's a contract. This is a donation. It's not a sponsorship. And as a donation, you're memorialized, or your businesses or your family is forever. So something like this, I think, has broad appeal. We just all have to keep plugging away, and I'm confident we'll get there. I have a decent segue on what's happening construction wise, but I'm going to pause for a second just to see if there's any other questions or comments on either fundraising in general or the brick campaign. No? Okay. So the city continues to be a tremendous resource for us in spite of all the rules that they are compelled to adhere to. And city finance in particular starting to work a little closer with us on getting items done, getting progress done in our construction while we round out the both the administrative and the actual dollars of our fundraising. So to that end, we're basically parsing up sections of the construction that can be done, with one item start to finish, where we know we have the funds in place. And so we got the foundation and all that stuff done that way. We asked the contractor what could be done before weather kind of becomes a hindrance to other construction, and they suggested they could get the flagpoles in. So working with city finance, Lori and I met last week, and that now has proceeded. So that the flagpoles will be installed on site there. I don't know the actual time, but I imagine soon, before weather becomes an issue. So that's an important continued progress on the actual physical installation, I think, is positive. And so no one thinks that this is stalled. We'll see those flagpoles up there sooner than later. I think that'll be a positive addition to it. And then that'll probably curtail construction for a couple few months while we get through the winter. We're optimistic by the time construction resumes as early as it possibly can in the spring. We'll have completed our fundraising by then. We're going to be very close anyway. So it'll allow us to finalize the next couple of months will allow us to finalize details such as, the actual messaging that's going on certain items such as benches and a few of those kind of details are what we'll be working on over the next couple of months, in addition to rounding out the fundraising. Then we'll have the construction piece divided up into a number of phases. So again, we can proceed in an orderly fashion without any holdups while we round out the fundraising. And the bricks are last. They're the last piece. They're to go in. They're one of the last pieces to go in. So I hope we don't need much more runway, but we always kind of have that in our back pocket. And there's still a few other fundraising sources I know to come. So I'm not overly, in fact, I'm not concerned at all about getting the dollars. I just don't. I just want to make sure we don't back down on any of the bricks piece, because I really don't think that there's a lack of engagement there. I think it's just a lack of information and a system and making people aware. So that's why I bring it up and I sort of stress it at every meeting. I'm just following up on an item that I'm not sure the status of from the minutes. By the way, I'll pause there again, see if there's any questions, and then move to Ryan.
I just wanted to just get on the record that it's Nancy has done an unbelievable job in fundraising too. And I know she probably doesn't like me saying this, but I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, Nancy, we'll give you a complimentary brick if you can sell the other 150. How's that?
No, I'll try.
You're actually not. I know you did. You're number one on the list.
Yeah.
The very first. I don't know if that's the
Were
sequence,
we? Oh,
but that's
okay.
where it is on the list of bricks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, guys, we're all busy. We have a lot going on, but I think that Lori gives me little updates on how other projects like this have happened at the city when it's challenged to get private sector funding and community engagement. And although this thing happened maybe a little bit slower, we started it in 2013. So, we're moving at light speed and we've done extremely well. We have enough funds to get this thing almost all the way home. So let's not take our foot off the gas, I guess, is the message. Last point for me was the temporary signage. I'm not sure where that landed. I thought we were going to, Chief, I can't remember.
So Lori, excuse me, Lori can jump in as well. We reviewed the signage that our corporate communications had proposed. So it looked good. So we green lighted it. So Lori, that's the last I remember. If you want to jump in and chime in on this as well.
Thank you, Fire Chief, through you, Mr. Chair. That's the last I saw of it too, is that we had sent the approval email to move forward. If you want, I'm happy to follow up with that when I'm in the office tomorrow to see if they can give us an ETA. It would be very nice to have that sign erected in conjunction with the flagpoles. So again, people can see the progress that's being made at the site and can have the information on the sign about how we're moving forward.
Thank you. I'll reach out to some media contacts too to see if we can get something on the bricks. You made a note there. Flagpole installation may be newsworthy enough. I don't know. Okay, that concludes both business arising from the previous minutes and update on fundraising and construction. So open it up for any items of new business or questions coming out of content already covered. Ryan?
Mr. Chair, if the flagpoles are going up, I would suspect that the flags won't go up until the unveiling. So we'll make sure that we provide, and it would probably be good if we could have some kind of a size estimate of what the other flag size will be, and we'll get an IAFF flag that's same size.
Yeah, candidly, I don't think a decision has been. I don't think the flags are in the budget per se. I'd have to double check. I don't think a decision has been made on flag size and flag content. So we'll table it. It's a good point, and I'll ensure that that our understanding, as you said, it is accurate. That there is no physical flag installation. That is just the poles. So I'll undertake to confirm that, and then I would table it as a future item to understand size and content that this task force will have to agree on.
Thank you.
A good point. Anything else? Chief, you good?
Yeah, no, it's all good on our end.
Okay. In that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Moved by Ryan Medill, seconded by Nancy. Thank you, everybody, for your attendance, especially those of you with technical challenges on your phones. Greatly appreciated. I would say that barring something dramatically unforeseen, we may not meet again till January. But what I will undertake to do is provide an email update in advance of the holidays, just to keep you apprised of where we're at with the bricks. Because I don't think there won't be a whole lot of decision making necessary, and recognize that December's kind of a crazy month for everybody anyway. So I would say right now we'll count on January. Regularly scheduled time is our next meeting. Anything that I need to confer with individually with any of you, we'll certainly follow up on, and I'll provide an email update to the group. As always, I'll reserve the right to call an ad hoc in case there's a decision that we need to make. But I think the pathway's kind of laid out between now and spring. What's left for us to do? So I'll leave it at that for now. Everybody good with that? Okay, great.
Good.
All right, have a good night, folks. And if I don't see you, have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
Ditto.
You too.
Yeah, take care, everyone.